Yeah. 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 Mic check, mic check. Turn me up. Yeah. Yeah. This is the re-rap. Bring it right back. Break it all down. Put the truth on the track. Old school flavor. New school facts. If you want to hear it straight, we gon' give you that. Yeah. This is the re-rap. Rewind that. From the first hot take to the cold hard stats. Sit back, press play, let it snap. Welcome to the show. This is the re-rap.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy BJ, the DJ. You are now tuned into the re-rap. Before we get started, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. The re-rap's available on all streaming platforms, so there's no excuse why you shouldn't tap in or why you can't tap in. Let's get to it, man. I know it's been a minute since we've done a re-rap episode. In fact, I think it's been October of 2025, and for many reasons, obviously, music kind of took over my life there for a short period of time where I was focusing on putting out another album. I had decided I wanted to launch a production company where I wanted to start doing projects for other people. And I'd always talked about how I didn't have space to bring on guests and things like that. But a lot has changed since then, obviously. Now I have a full functioning space with the capabilities and the abilities to bring on guests to the re-rap so that we can have some different people come on to provide insight, different topics and things like that. So that happened. I moved out of the office area that I was in previously and moved into a larger space in my home. Had a lot of construction going on in my home. So all in all, we're in a better situation upstairs in my house with enough space and resources to bring on guests. I could even bring on the whole Over the Top with Chad and Tony crew, which is going to happen in the future. So, but a lot of things happened. So I think July of last year, I had put out a project called No Perfect People Allowed. And in the middle of recording that project, I decided that there was something missing. And as I started down a path of recording for that project, I realized that the direction had changed. And I wanted to maybe cut that project off and move on to a different one. So I announced right after the release of No Perfect People Allowed that I was going to be doing a second album. And that album dropped in December of 2025. That was called Seeing Red. Numbers on that thing did amazing considering the short amount of time in which I had to really plug it or promote it. One of my better projects, actually, I was seriously thinking about letting that be my last project as a rapper. And I was going to move into more of a songwriting type of thing or the producing thing. So around September or October of last year, I decided I wanted to start trying to make my own beats for a lot of reasons. One, I wanted to change the sound in which I had been creating music. And I wanted to just do something different. I felt like I was limited with some of the production that I was using. I felt like I had created a sound that I enjoyed, but there was really no way to get away from it if I wanted to go in a different direction. So I decided to start trying to make my own stuff for that reason. And in doing so, I started creating these beats that I felt like would sound good for other people. And that's what kind of led me to the point of wanting to launch my own production company. And I reached out to my man Pudgy. Shout out Pudgy, son of a tile, man. He'll be on here too pretty soon. I reached out to him and I said, hey man, check these beats out, man. If you want to do something, let's do something. And his response was great. He said, man, this is exactly what I've been looking for a long time. And I said, great, because I've got a folder on my desktop full of beats just for you. And in preparing for that project, and while I was in the middle of making beats, I actually was trying to find a way to land on something for Chad, because Chad was working on a project a month at that point, and I wanted to find a way to kind of carve my niche into his project in some kind of way. And he had been doing his own producing here and there. Chance had started doing his own producing, and I came across a track, and I ended up doing a hook for it, and it was intentionally meant for the project that he and Squints did called Till the Dirt. And if you listen to the Grinding All Week course, it ends with that. And that was intentional. I was trying to get it done for that project or whatever, but Chad decided to throw it on Gray-Headed Goat 5, and that's really what launched the production career for me. Pudgy and I started working on his project almost immediately after, but Grinding All Week was a great step. It was a great way for me to incorporate myself into Chad's project. Chad was, he graciously put that on Gray-Headed Goat 5, and I was very thankful to be a part of that. Chad's the homie, and good looking out on that. Appreciate that. So we started working on Pudgy's project right after that, which we launched the first single, Where I'm From, and it did great numbers, did phenomenal numbers. And from there, we just kind of kept recording, and then we realized about maybe halfway through that we were onto something special here. And I think we put out a very, very important project. Pudgy hasn't done anything in like 20 years, right? He's done a couple verses here and there, but we really redefined his sound and his just his overall character as a rapper. He had been like monumental in the early stages of this whole country rap thing, and what we did with his album was we really brought that to life. Where I'm From was just the start of the project, right? Once we got to Hard Liquor and Pine, which was funny because the story about Hard Liquor and Pine was I created that beat with the harmonica sound and everything and just let Pudgy hear it, and Pudgy wrote to it and he says, man, I got this song I've had since 2021, and it was called Hard Liquor and Pine. And when he came up to me with that song and we recorded that, it was missing something. Like, the song itself lyrically was great. The idea of the song was great. But when we made that chorus sound the way it sounded, with that twang, with just the way that chorus turned out once it was mixed and mastered, we knew we had a hit. We knew we was onto something. Hard Liquor and Pine is an absolute banger. As a producer, it's my first really big hit, right? Regardless of what the stream numbers look like, I think that song is one of those that people will be listening to years from now. The idea of Two Buck Chuck being a part of it was last minute. When we were sitting there talking about what to do at the beginning of the end of that, I said, what if we got this old drunk wino person to talk on the front and the back of it? And Pudgy loved the idea, but Two Buck Chuck coming to life was something different, right? And it was exactly what that track needed. Little did we know that Two Buck Chuck would be what kind of, I guess, brought more eyes and attention to this song than what we thought. When we did the video, of course, we got Two Buck Chuck in the video, and people just naturally gravitated toward him. So it just kind of brought all the pieces together for that song to be big. And then March of this year, we dropped the album. May 29th, we dropped the album once everything was mixed, once everything was mastered, and we felt like we really put together a complete project. Got the homie Tom Ski on 2 songs. Shout out Tom Ski, man. I can't wait to hear him do something on some of the beats that I've given to him. Man, the coolest thing that came out of this whole thing was, one, I got Pudgy back to recording. Got him and Chad back in the mix. He's been on the podcast with the guys. He's met all the guys. It's just kind of rejuvenated that relationship. But also, I got a group text, or I got a text thread in my phone right now from Tom Ski, man. And I haven't seen Ski since the Tupelo incident, since all of that stuff, man. And he's like, I've talked about Memphis rap being like one of my favorite genres of all time. Ski is my man, dude. Like, that Too Wild for the World album was everything for my 15, 16-year-old self, right? But to be friends with that guy, I consider him a friend. I've done some work for him. Just genuinely good dude, man. Means the world to me. That relationship means everything to me, and I look forward to growing that relationship and doing more work with him in the future. But also, we got a different set of ears and eyes on Pudgy, and it's allowing Pudgy to get out there and really do the rap thing the right way. So for so many years, we were out there trying to do this and trying to do that without really even knowing anything. But if I could provide Pudgy the type of project that he's proud of, then that just gives him every bit of incentive to go out there and really pursue that dream, right? And that's what my goal was with that. I really wanted to give Pudgy something he could be proud of, and I think we accomplished that with 8 Piece and a Biscuit. And we've already got tracks in the works for the next one. We're already going to continue the momentum and keep going and keep pushing. We're working on the Two Buck Chuck project. We've got another country rapper or a country artist named Heath Drake. He's got material coming as well. So really not letting the foot off the gas when it comes to the production side of things. I've got an album in the works again. Come Hell or High Water to me is an album I wanted to do once I started producing for other people. Is I wanted to produce my own album from start to finish, and so I'm excited about that. And it also, like I said, what limited me with the production I was getting in the forefront of this whole journey with the Christian rap, I'm now able to kind of be creative and do some different things. So really excited about that. The Over the Top guys, man, I haven't been on there since like the first couple episodes this year. My schedule has been chaotic and crazy. I look forward to joining the table again, hopefully sometime mid-July or August, hopefully getting back in the mix with those guys. But this was important for me. Like the Re-Rap podcast for me was an outlet for me to get on here and speak about things I feel good about, to speak about things I love, and to also talk about the one thing that I am extremely grateful for, and that's music. But I got so wound up in being a rapper, and I got so caught up in my space being limited that I just felt like it was best for me to kind of take a break and then pick this thing back up when I could do it the way I wanted to do it. So here we are. The Re-Rap, we are back in the mix, man. I cannot wait to see what happens with this pod going forward. Like I said, I've got guests scheduled to come on. We're going to do it right this time, and I'm super excited about it. So that's where we are, man. This is going to be awesome. I can't wait. We're going to try to hit this thing hard every single week. I feel like that's what the guys do different than anybody else, is they never miss a Thursday no matter what. Even if we don't have time to batch record, they never miss a Thursday. So I've taken what I've learned from those guys, and we're going to put this thing in action, and I'm super excited. I've even got Brody's going to come on and be a guest. Try to get my wife on. I think that'll be cool. But again, life gets busy and plans sometimes change, but for the most part, we're going to hit the momentum. We're going to keep the momentum going with this thing, and we're going to hit the ground running. So that's what I got. This is the Re-Rap. I'm BJ the DJ. Catch you on the B-side.